Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty, and before we get into today's episode, we're going to hear a lovely message from our lovely friends over at Gaming Views. Take it away, Dans.
Take it away, Dan Squared.
Welcome to the trailer for Gaming Views. Think of it as the demo level before the real action kicks off.
We're Dan, and every week we're bringing hot takes, breaking news, deep dives, and everything gaming related.
From the biggest headlines to retro classics, hardware breakdowns, and inside scoops on developers, we cover it all.
So level up your gaming knowledge, subscribe to Gaming Views wherever you get your podcasts, and don't miss out.
Don't miss out. It's a flipping great time.
It's fantastic.
If the bad times are coming, let them come. Let the death drum break the slump. For the once young brave succumb. Little flicker of desire expires. If the bad times are coming, let them come.
God damn.
Welcome back to Two Blokes from Blighty. Last time we did a Scroobius Pip lyric, you said bars as well. So
You do
must
have
just be a
bars.
Scroobius Pip thing. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I didn't do our usual thing. I'm not in the right headspace, apparently. I am Joey Fitz from Two Blokes from Blighty, and I'm joined by the tepid Tim.
Tepid.
Tepid.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
Tim, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm good. How are you?
I am sweating my tits off. It is. The thing is, like, I'll say it's hot, and inevitably our American contingent will go, that's not that hot. It's hot here.
The problem is that our country isn't built for hot.
Yeah. I've been to a few places today, and none of them had central heating, and it shows.
So, it's to the point here,
aircon, not central heating.
It's to the point though that sometimes things are just too hot that our trains have to shut down.
I've started getting loads of TikToks of Americans in England going, man, I thought they were joking when they moaned about the heat here, but this is awful. So, yeah.
It's because we're not used to it. We're not used to it. We're getting used to it as a people, but we're not built for it. We don't have the infrastructure for it.
It's just hot. Tim, let's start with the pub quiz question of the week.
Pub quiz question of the week. That's not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Pub quiz of the week. I'm going to go through several pub quiz questions until Joey can't get one immediately. That becomes our pub quiz question of the week. Sound good?
Several last week was one.
I'm trying to avoid a history one because I did that last week.
History.
Oh, history. What is the smallest unit of matter that retains the properties of an element?
I don't really understand the question. A proton? Neutron? A cell? I don't fucking know. Like, an element.
What's the smallest a thing can be?
An atom.
It is an atom.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you for making that set 8 for me.
We've done that one before and you got mad at me, so I'm not going to do that one.
Which one was it?
What is the formula for calculating speed of an object?
Distance multiplied by time.
Oh, distance divided by time.
I know, because that's what I said last time. I was doing a really bloody good funny.
What is the process by which plants and animals naturally evolve over time?
Evolution.
Correct. Thank you. I don't know why I included the question.
The word is in the question.
Yeah. What is the largest species of penguin known for its distinct yellow crest on its head? I nearly said yellow breast on its head.
We've all got yellow breasts on our head. Emperor penguin. That last question was like me going, what was the name of Michael Jackson's album Bad?
Bad.
Well done. Good.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. What large herbivorous animal is native to Africa and is known for its long neck and legs?
Giraffe.
A giraffe. What is the largest species of big cat in the world?
The lion?
It's not the lion. I'm going to jump one more guess and we'll come back to it.
The tiger.
Can we get specific?
The stripy tiger.
They're all stripy.
I don't know. I don't know any specific breeds of tiger.
Well, then
Siberian tiger.
It is the Siberian tiger.
Yes.
God damn, he's on a roll
I saw
today.
a white tiger the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we went to the safari park and they have normal. I saw both ends of the spectrum of tiger. I saw a tiny little baby tiger.
Hmm.
Tiny little baby tiger. This is going to be awful for an audio format, but let me find a picture for you. Look how little that tiger is.
That's a tiny little tiger.
It's a tiny little baby tiger. And I don't think I only got pictures of the giraffes. There is a
you
white
sent us
tiger
them.
there as well.
Did you know that there are more? I think I've got this right. More tigers in captivity in Texas alone than there are tigers out in the wild.
That doesn't surprise me.
Hmm.
Doesn't surprise me. Tim, speaking of giraffes, and sorry, we will get back to your pub quiz in a second. Have you ever seen a giraffe have a fight?
Yeah, they just swing their heads at each
It's
other.
the most fucking metal thing you've ever seen.
Have you ever seen how giraffes know when a female giraffe is in heat?
No, does their neck
It-
get really stiff?
Yeah, it gets curved actually.
Just slightly
they'll
to the left.
the male will swing its head into the female's bladder and check for the smell.
Giraffes are a weird creature. I mean,
They are
that's how I
bizarre.
met my wife, but
Hold
Um,
on. What my pub quiz here is done shit itself. It's got two that question, what's the largest species of big cat in the world? Right? Siberian tiger. Question number 3, only 2 down from that. What African animal is known as the king of the jungle and the largest big cat species in Africa? Okay, I'll let you off.
it's a
quiz.
lion. Just
It is a
gonna.
lion. Yep, thank you. What is the largest species of shark known for its enormous size and filter feeding behavior?
Basking shark?
Not a
The
basking
whale
shark.
shark.
It is a whale shark. You know your animals this week.
Thanks. I know them on my second time of asking, it seems.
What else have we got? What is the largest species of sea turtle known for its distinctive rigid shell?
I just thought they were called sea turtles.
No, it's got different species, different
Big
species.
old funny boy turtle.
Loud lad.
The lavish lad turtle.
It's not the lavish lad. Do you want one more?
I'm sure if you tell me, I would know the name of the species, but I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any names of turtles.
Right.
Apart from little
Well,
snappy turtles, which I know is not one of them because they're little.
they're little and they will bite your finger off.
They will give a good old snapping.
Yeah. Right. Well, that'll be our pub quiz question of the week. So come back to the end of the episode for that.
Come back to this episode.
Come back to us, audience. I know we went on a Giroffle about a Giroffle? A ramble about.
It's hot, isn't it, Tim?
It's really
warm.
hot. My brain's a bit fried.
Tim, we are on our final episode of the season.
Yes.
We are the youth of the nation. We are definitely not the youth of the nation.
I haven't listened to POD in a while.
Is that POD?
That's POD.
Oh, there you go. Christian rock at its finest.
Mm.
So this is the last episode. Last week, you went rogue and edited in the Watch Him Wednesday, Watch Him Dude. So I'm just making sure.
For the audience, the soundboard bot broke and I couldn't find our normal file.
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's is on a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
I didn't enjoy that one bit.
No, are we leaving all that in?
No, we're not leaving all that in. I'll cut all that out. I'll leave this in so people know there's been an edit point. But we spent the whole of that jingle complaining about how grimy it is. Our soundboard is not doing what it should do.
No,
Be
but it's
good at
Wednesday.
making sound. It is fucking Wednesday. Tim, I've got some days for you.
Hit me with them.
It is June the 25th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This comes out. There's a few days here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
National Catfish Day.
Oh, get catfished.
It's not that kind of catfishing. It's an actual catfish.
God damn.
Looked up why catfishing is called catfishing.
Mhm.
And it's because when people are fishing, they get this really big pull and they keep pulling. They think they've got this absolute beauty trophy catch. And when they pull it out, you're face to face with an overweight, ugly bottom feeder with whiskers. So that's why it's called catfishing. But National Catfish Day on June the 25th is literally to celebrate those ugly bottom feeders.
I like catfish. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to save one of them because you're either going to love it or hate it. And I think it'll be the latter.
All right.
National Strawberry Parfait Day.
Like strawberries, like parfait. Never had a strawberry parfait.
Everybody love parfait.
Everybody love parfait. It got layers.
Got layers. National Parchment Day.
Like the paper.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
To the one that you might love or might hate. National Leon Day.
Leon Day.
Leon.
Yeah.
Now, spell
Mhm.
Leon backwards.
Noel.
Noel. Noel.
Yeah.
June the 25th marks exactly 6 months away from Christmas Day.
Oh, I both love and hate this. Oh, I mean, it's got to be. Do you know what? Yeah, let's go with that. And I want the audience to celebrate by buying one Christmas present really fucking early.
Have you got any Christmas presents or planned?
Podmas?
Podmas? Might need to start that soon.
We probably do, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start Podmas soon. Right, Tim. We've done our day. People are going to celebrate National Leon Day by planning a present really far in advance.
Yep.
You have promised me an absolute, and your words here, doozy for history. So I want to jump into that.
Oh, history. Early American colonies had strict laws against sodomy.
And then there was loads of gay sex.
Loads of gay sex. Brilliant time. Virginia enacted the first written prohibition in 1610, repealed after 8 years, and Plymouth adopted a similar law in 1636 based on the Book of Leviticus. Massachusetts Bay, Connecticut, and New Hampshire and Rhode Island adopted nearly identical laws making sodomy capital offence. Pennsylvania passed the sodomy law in 1700, punishable by life in prison, and quarterly whippings for white men and castration and divorce for married men.
Wow. What about if they were being pegged?
I'm assuming you'd be also included in the punishment.
You love a good pegging, don't you?
I love hanging up my clothes.
Not what I said, but okay.
After independence, all 13 states revoked the death penalty for sodomy but continued to criminalize anal sex, though police rarely enforced these laws before 1880. In November 1907, Christopher Hughes reported the arrest of black males masquerading in women's garb who would, quote, carousel and dance with white men in St. Louis. The men were punished, but the black men were punished, but the white men consorting with them were not named.
That sounds racist to me.
I mean, we are talking 1907 America, so... In 1912, Portland, Oregon, about 68 men were implicated in crimes ranging from indecent acts to sodomy, with some facing trial, a few roomed at the YMCA, leading working-class newspapers to target the Y and its sponsors. My thing's abbreviated the YMCA to the Y for some reason.
You abbreviated the abbreviation.
Yeah. They targeted the Y and its sponsors.
Have they not heard the song? Do they not know that it's fun to stay at the YMCA?
They get the first 20 seconds and then their tape run out. So they targeted the Y and its sponsors as lawyers and physicians were also arrested. In 1918, San Francisco were two men who leased out flats at 2525 Baker Street for private parties for gay men as rooms for sex. The San Francisco Police Moral Squad
Wow.
and the US Army began a siege, imprisoning men as they entered, forcing confessions and seizing letters and address books. A second wave of arrests, including 2 police officers, followed in 1919. A California state Supreme Court ruled that charges for fellatio were invalid because the word was not in the English dictionary due to an anti-Spanish law requiring state laws to be in English. That is a loophole in some.
La butt sex.
By the 1920s, most states had expanded sodomy laws to include fellatio, prosecuting women as well as men, and a few states included cunnilingus as a, quote, a crime against nature.
Okay.
The first cunnilingus conviction to stand was in 1917 in North Dakota, where sodomy laws covered anyone who connily knows another person by or with the mouth.
So we're just defining blowjobs.
Yeah, oral sex is outlawed, and so is anal sex.
America sounds like a bad place to be.
Right
Not
now
worse
in this...
than right now, but
No. Newport, Rhode Island, which is where our story mostly takes place, described as the palatial, extravagant, and expensive summer resort, opened a U.S. Navy training station in 1883, which became the principal East Coast Navy training facility by World War I. Newport was tolerant of men dressing like women or displaying feminine characteristics. A popular thing for dramatic performances featured I'll start again. A popular thing was for men to dress like women, displaying feminine characteristics, appearing in dramatic performances, females and the sale of roles, leading to admirals praising prettier girls who were in fact men. In 1917, Joseph Daniels, head of the Navy Department, noted a, quote, unwholesome atmosphere for young men in training. A local editor reported that a house of prostitution of the lowest type was operating under the city patronage of officials, with police ensuing orderly lines between 1917 and the end of World War I. Newport's new naval station had an annual rate of about 15,000 to 20,000 young men for training, many of them living off base. In February 1919, 44-year-old Evan Arnold, a 15-year-old Navy veteran and former Connecticut state detective, arrived for duty in Newport Naval Station. Described as aggressive, uneducated, and the bulldog type, Arnold had an intense hatred of homosexuals and claimed he could identify them just by appearance, despite being sent to Naval Hospital for severe rheumatism the next day.
I can identify homosexuals just by looking at them. I've kissed him and him and him.
At the hospital with rheumatism, Arnold observed patient Samuel Rogers using powder puffs and makeup. He'd heard that Thomas Brunel discuss a gang of perverts. Rogers was known as a pogue who screwed in the rectum and confessed to being in the business because he liked going to bed with a man with a very large penis and he was very passionate.
Okay, nice.
All quotes, mind.
Good for him. Yeah, great.
Arnold immediately began taking notes, documenting the immoral men soliciting at the Army and Navy, YMCA, and noting details like cocksucking, screwing in the rectum, browning, and sucking off.
Hey, whatever he needs to get himself off.
Hospital can be really boring. Arnold gained confidence around young men and was invited to cocaine sex parties, spending weeks gathering information. His notes contained specific individuals.
Sorry. Gathering information. Sorry, I've just been hanging out at these cocaine-fueled sex parties to gather information.
His notes contained references to specific individuals detailing their sexual acts, including using aliases like Becky and Speedy.
Okay, nice.
On February 27th, Arnold informed Dr. M. Hudson, a superior officer, of his findings, and Hudson joined him in observing 20 men Arnold was tailing. Hudson requested notes be typed up so an ensign from the Naval Intelligence could be brought in to assist.
Sorry, once again, I'm just collecting evidence at these cocaine-fueled sex parties. And just so you know, I'm really closely collecting evidence from these known homosexuals. I'm spending loads of time with them so that we don't have to collect evidence later.
I'm writing this all down for my reference later.
Don't worry, I'll know everything that I do with them down. But I just wanted to let you know it's not gay. It's not gay.
Let me be very clear.
It's that thing of where you go, nothing sexual. Like
Yeah.
we say on here all the time. I'm just noting down my cocaine-fueled sex party stuff. Nothing sexual though.
Nothing sexual.
Nothing sexual.
On March 5th, the information moved up the chain of command to Admiral Spencer S. Wood, who concluded that a thorough investigation was justified and notified the Secretary of the Navy. On March 11th, Newport representatives met with Secretary Daniels, who authorized a, quote, thorough house cleaning and convened a court of inquiry headed by Lieutenant Commander Murphy L. Foster, and with Dr. Hudson as also part of the court. Arnold and Hudson decided to use undercover operatives recruiting, quote, honest, reliable, and good-looking men from age 19 to 24 with no previous experience.
Sounds like his type.
Arnold had initiated his plan in the hospital, recruiting the typing ensign as his first operative, and the operative was sent to the YMCA on March 12 to eavesdrop. And on March 15th, Arnold and 2 other officers observed men leaving the Y acting suspiciously. On March 17th, 3 of Arnold's operatives engaged suspected homosexuals at the Y. Thomas Brunel was invited back to his room, where a sailor turned out the light, felt the operative's privates, kissed him on the penis, but the operative, quote, couldn't get a hard-on. That's from the report.
This is ridiculous.
Arnold then questioned how his operatives could be treated legally if arrested, if the extent of their actions was for evidence, and how to maintain secrecy. Captain Campbell of the training station ordered Arnold to special recruiting duty, placing 13 men under his command to investigate the cocaine, other drugs, and immoral practices and conditions among the naval personnel.
No, please stop it. You're so immoral. Please. Oh yeah, just there. That's the most immoral spot. Ooh.
Right there. That's the moral grey area. Dr. Hudson administered a naval intelligence oath of secrecy to 4 men in the hospital's basement X-ray room. The rest were inducted the following night.
Look, I'm gonna have sex with you, but you need to not tell anyone, all right?
Arnold outlined the plan to catch, quote, cocksuckers and rectum receivers by arranging meetings and identifying new fairies, warning that New York would not be the cleanest kind and was full of nasty nature.
I'm just gonna say, like, this guy protests way too much, right?
Way too much. He told operatives they were, quote, on the field of operations and would have to use their own judgment whether to act on a full act or whether to act until completion.
Look, you got to arrest him, but you can come first.
Operatives were given cocaine. Sailor Britain reported that Sailor Churg, quote, mashed him up and sucked me off right away.
Mashed him up, sucked him right off.
Operative Crawford met Sailor J. Goldstein at the YMCA, went to his room, and Goldstein sucked Crawford off, spitting in the chamber afterwards, saying, I like you. Operative Millard Hughes met Frank Dye, who felt Hughes' penis and then, quote, sucked me off in a dark place.
Oh, well, there you go.
The Foster Court of Inquiry convened on March 19th, but over the next 2 days found the evidence meager and based on hearsay. Recommending...
No, carry on.
Recommending any expense and time necessary for a most thorough and searching investigation by highly experienced investigators. On March 21st, Lieutenant Commander Foster, Lieutenant Commander Nelson Hibbs, and Dr. Hudson presented their report to Admiral Wood, who referred the investigation over to the Department of Justice for a civil involvement. On March 22nd, Hibbs met with Judge Advocate Judge Advocate General Clark, who expressed surprise and dissatisfaction as similar reports had been received from naval training stations in Norfolk, Virginia, and Illinois. Clark wanted to involve Assistant Secretary of the Navy Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt ordered the report be transmitted to the Justice Department and the Attorney General to deploy his most skilled investigators to clean the whole matter up. So we're just sending more people in to have gay sex with each other.
Look, these 5 blokes that have been shagging everyone don't have enough evidence. Send 10 more in right now.
The Attorney General sent investigator John J. Daly to Newport, but Daly found the evidence insufficient, considerably exaggerated, and largely from hearsay. Arnold and Hudson withheld evidence from Daly, leading to the end of this investigation. Unbeknownst to Daly, though, 2 members of the Foster Court, including Dr. Hudson, were cooperating with the captain to initiate their own investigation. Hudson's secured a room for Charles F. Hall, field director of the Red Cross in Newport, by misleading him into believing that the work had the full Navy sanction and had arranged for Hall to loan money to the operatives for expenses based on the notes from Hudson. So he just scammed someone into giving him more money for more gay sex.
Hey, more money, more gay sex. Go crazy.
You go for it.
This guy hates homosexuals so much. I'm just imagining when he's done, he's like, oh man, I feel so good, but I'm so mad about it.
A foster court member ruled that if military law protected the detectives, they would protect the detectives rather, if an act was committed upon themselves and they did not take any leading part. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Foster court heard hearings resumed on April 18th, 1919, and Arnold and his operatives struggled to explain the sexual terms in court, using graphic depictions like, I gave him a load and he ate it nicely.
Yum, yum, yum.
And admitting they were ordered to follow sexual acts to occur. On April 9th, 5 sailors who testified against who were testified against were jailed, causing panic among gay sailors in Newport. Dr. Hudson arranged for the hospital ambulance to transport prisoners, leading to 9 additional arrests at the YMCA and elsewhere. Provost Marshal Brown protested the overcrowding, and Lieutenant Commander Foster discovered that Arnold was still operating despite the court having recommended the use of more experienced professional detectives.
He's trying to become the most experienced gay sailor detective you've ever met.
Damn if he isn't trying. God loves a trier. Hudson, Arnold, and the operatives expanded their focus from sailors to civilians.
Okay.
Charles P. Hall and the Red Cross field director, who provided Hudson's headquarters and advanced expense money to operators, contacted the governor of Rhode Island on April 1919 to condemn the deplorable moral situation in Newport. The governor chose to contact Roosevelt, who met Hall on April 25th. Hall described the conditions as worse than ever, and the operatives were, quote, thoroughly well known in the community.
But, like, if you're going, it's so much worse than when we started, like, and they go, what's happening? They go, all of our operatives are having sex with everyone. It's
Anything that moves.
Let's have a think about why the situation might be worse in your eyes than it was before. Could have been because we added all these very horny operatives to the mixing pot.
Roosevelt ordered Dr. Hudson to Washington, met him and Arnold, viewed suspects of gays, and promised funds to the Office of Naval Intelligence. FDR then assigned Hudson and Arnold to the Navy Intelligence Office, stating their special qualifications and knowledge of the situation merited every assistance with communication.
Well done. I'm going to give you this commendation. Thank you for having such a thorough knowledge of the gay sex scene that we've been trying to shut down. Well done for being so thorough and shagging literally everyone that would let you.
But he was merited every assistance with communication to be only written to ensure secrecy. The director of naval intelligence questioned using amateur detectives but hired private detective George E. Rowe, who interviewed Hudson, noting that he was not an experienced investigator, but was, quote, interested in the work of this character.
Okay.
Arnold's operatives continued collecting evidence against civilians, specifically targeting Reverend Samuel Neil Kent. One of the operatives reported Kent touching his leg and penis, calling him, quote, some boy, and agreeing to spend the night together. Arnold compiled 15 instances of lewd, immoral behavior regarding Kent, having sent multiple operatives to engage with him. Newport Chief of Police John S. Tobin recalled Arnold shouting, "There's one now," and boasting his ability to spot gays by their walk.
As long as the way he's spotted them is them walking away from his bedroom, and that kind of makes sense.
The first civilian court proceedings against Kent began with the prosecution relaying Arnold's operative's testimony, who admitted they were ordered to allow themselves to become sexually involved, quote, to the limit if necessary. Kent denied all charges and was acquitted as the evidence was deemed hearsay. In early September, 2 prominent Rhode Island citizens informed Roosevelt that the Navy had persecuted Kent using improper methods, which FDR was much disturbed by. Hudson denied having utilized improper methods. Despite being told to stop, Hudson and Arnold began preparing for a further prosecution with Kent, a Special Assistant U.S. Attorney Joseph C. Cooley proposing prosecution under a wartime statute excluding federal jurisdiction to immoral behavior under near federal installations. So essentially, not having gay sex near the Navy base. But what's near? Kent left Newport, reassigned to a different parish in Warwick, Pennsylvania. Arnold pursued him with a warrant, organised a massive search utilising nearly all of his operators, and distributed general alarm to the police chiefs in Pennsylvania. Arnold unsuccessfully tried to intimidate Kent's friends and the Warwick postmaster, claiming to be a government agent, carrying a warrant for Kent's arrest. Arnold and several operators arrested Kent in Grand Rapids, Michigan on November 3rd. Kent's federal court trial began on January 1920, gaining national attention through newspaper reports. The prosecution relied almost entirely on the testimony of Arnold's operators, who, when asked if they were told to allow their instrument to be sucked if necessary, replied, "Yes, sir."
Zip.
Reverend Kent was found innocent on all charges. The scandal gained further publicity, though, due to John R. Ratham, an Australian-born editor of the Providence Journal, who personally had a vendetta against the military. Ratham
doesn't sound like a very shipshape operation.
No, it definitely doesn't seem to be above board or sanctioned or authorized in any way.
No.
Ratham inflamed public opinion by sending telegrams with the story to papers nationwide, forcing Daniels to call for a high-level naval investigation. A letter of complaint from Rhode Island ministers to President Woodrow Wilson brought the case to the attention of the highest U.S. government office officials. The Navy investigation, led by Officer Dunn, a very close friend of everyone involved, questioned who gave the order to continue Arnold's investigation. Foster claimed he had verbal orders to stop, while Hudson suggested that it was unofficial investigators who were ordered to be on duty. Arnold believed that an investigation would be authorized and warned that cutting off his operative would arouse suspicions.
It's going to arouse something.
Yeah. Roosevelt appeared before the Dunn court, stating that he attached Dr. Hudson to his office to keep the investigation out of the files and to prevent publicity. FDR denied having knowledge of the investigative methods and then left the room. The court found that the operatives were immune from prosecution for their conduct, recommended no court-martials, and that principal offers in the case should receive a reprimand. Roosevelt, however, did not think that Hudson or Arnold deserved such reprimand, stating Arnold merely followed the lead of the men who he reported.
Okay.
Hudson requested to resign but was rejected. Daniels approved letters of censure for Hudson, Arnold, and Foster, and then was publicly released. Publicly released decision via a Navy News Bureau press release. The Navy's official interpretation was that Dunn Court found the charges against the department were either disposed of or not approved in whole or in part, even excusing the long detention of sailors without trial. A U.S. Senate investigation followed. Arnold, Hudson, and Foster reiterated the confusion over command and denied being notified of their authorization being revoked. We're nearly there, by the way.
Okay.
Newport policeman James Eslick described Arnold boasting of his ability to spot gays. The subcommittee visited Portsmouth, New Hampshire, interviewing 6 convicted gay sailors serving sentences of 2 to 10 years who claimed they were denied legal representation and that witnesses from Arnold's vice squad were not cross-examined. One charge involved Hudson threatening an inmate to confess to having sex with Reverend Kent. So we're going back to Kent here.
Okay.
Oh no, I've scrolled up accidentally. Oh, where's it gone? There we go. The anti-homosexual scandal received attention in 1920 as Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the Democratic Party's vice principal candidate. He resigned his Navy position to practice law. Ratham continued to accuse Roosevelt during the campaign. Roosevelt responded by filing a $500,000 libel suit and persuading the Justice Department to publicize Ratham's 1918 confession about lying about spies using Ratham's reputation.
Mm-hmm.
The senator's conclusions acknowledged immoral and lewd acts by sailors under orders, instructions, or suggestions of Arnold and Hudson, calling such directions reprehensible and beyond comprehension. The committee conceded that some of the youngsters who volunteered as operators were homosexual, but preferred to not have, but believe most were naive schoolboys practically forced into the duty who became victims. They concluded that wholesale discharge of suspected perverts or expulsion from Newport would have been preferable to polluting the sailor's body. Republican lawmakers strongly condemned Roosevelt and Daniels for neglecting to inquire about the investigative methods. The report concluded with specific charges calling Hudson's act shameful and disgraceful, and recommending that he be court-martialed and excluded from service, and that Arnold and his name be stricken from the roster. Hudson's resignation was finally accepted, and Arnold left the Navy. Senators recommended the release of all prisoners confined at Portsmouth, and the prohibition against ever using enlisted men to investigate perversion, favouring immediate undesirable discharge of the suspecting gays. Interest in Newport's anti-gay scandal quickly subsided, replaced by news of declining economy and corruption in the Harding administration. But on September 13th, 1921, 5 men in Portsmouth Naval Prison were freed with dishonourable discharges. A Dr. Arista Hudson, who's different to Dr. Hudson from earlier, later achieved notoriety by developing a fingerprinting technique, becoming a consultant to the New York City Police. Notably, during the Bruno Hauptmann trial in the Lindbergh kidnapping. Nothing is ever known of Evan Arnold's post-Navy life. Roosevelt won the presidency in 1932, Ratham fell in 1922 and died the next year. The Navy has largely suppressed this story, making it difficult to find research online, but there are reports out there. That's the story of the Newport Navy sex scandal.
I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of language in there.
It was a lot of language. I think I don't think I need to cut any of it out.
No?
Nah. Maybe fine. That was a good one.
I'm out of breath.
I like how
someone
thought it was okay to just say how much they hate gay people and then just go to town and really enjoy being homosexual.
And then recruiting a band of other people to have more gay sex than was probably happening at the time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right, Tim.
Yeah.
It's hot. Let's crack on with stuff.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Well, welcome to our Joke of the Week section, where Tim and I will tell each other jokes. I was going to say hilarious jokes, but Tim's got the book out again. Hopefully, at the end of season 10, we'll burn the fucking thing.
Well, what I'm going to do, because this is the last episode of the season, right?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is for every joke that doesn't land a laugh, I'm going to just rip out a handful of pages and put them in this bag for recycling.
Okay, cool. Are you going to bring it back for season 11?
I'm not going to staple the pages back together, no.
No, but the book, you just gonna...
Oh, no, I'm hoping this thing is completely ruined by the end of it.
Okay, good. So, Tim and I will tell each other jokes in the hope that it makes the other person laugh. If that person laughs, they lose, and the Joke of the Week section is over. Tim, would you like to go first?
Sure. A magician walks into a booking agent's office and enthuses about his marvelous new act. I can saw a woman in half, he announces proudly. You'll have to do better than that, says the agent. That's the oldest trick in the book. And the magician says, oh yeah? What about lengthways? No?
No. No.
There's the first
no.
one. Pages.
There's one page gone.
Well,
Tim.
not one, several.
Oh, wow. Okay. Tim, today I spotted an albino Dalmatian. It's the least I could do for him.
I don't get that one.
Dalmatian. What do they look like?
Spots.
White with black spots.
Oh, you spotted them. Right.
Okay.
What we got? This is the problem. I'm very quickly limiting my joke pool by doing this.
Because you're tearing the fucking pages out.
Yeah. A doctor is examining a young female patient. He applies a stethoscope and says, big breaths. Yes, says the girl, and I'm still only 16. No?
Get tearing.
There you go.
It's not picking up on the microphone. Listener, you just have to trust that Tim is absolutely ruining this book.
There's some pages missing.
Yeah. Eminem walks into a bar and orders a round of shots. The bartender says, "You only get one shot."
That's good. That's a reference to his music, I think.
You couldn't have sounded more like a boomer.
A hungry termite walks into a pub and says, "Is the bartender here?" No.
You've had that one, and it's bad. There you go. It's not picking up the tearing, but he is really ruining it. There you go. What do premature ejaculators and hide and seek have in common?
Go on.
Ready or not, here I come.
That's very good.
Thank you.
That's very good. Why don't blind people skydive?
One terrifies the guide dogs.
It is terrifies the guide dogs.
Yeah. Who gets most offended by the phrase "go hard or go home"?
Erectile dysfunction people?
Orphans with erectile dysfunction.
Oh, that is unfortunate for them.
Mm.
Advice to single women. Don't look for a husband. Look for a bachelor.
Get tearing. The thing is, we used to do these jokes and the silence would be one of us trying to stop laughing. And now it's just like disapproval.
Yeah.
What has 2 legs and bleeds?
Half a dog.
Half a dog.
Yep, from that one. How many birthdays does the average man have?
How many birthdays does an average man have?
Just one.
What?
He has one birthday.
Oh. Okay. I don't know if I said this one last week. Oh, I can't say it's terrible. It's really bad.
Okay.
Did I tell I just found out I'm colorblind? The news came right out the purple.
We've not last week, but we've had it before.
Okay.
What do you call a man that's also in a catapult?
I don't know.
Chuck.
Ripping.
Airing the pages out and out.
How did the real estate agent deal with the rude client?
How?
She showed her some fucking manners. No?
No.
Okay.
A man says to his wife, "You know what? 2 inches more and I'd be king." And she replies, 2 inches less and you'd be a queen.
Oh.
Nope. All right.
Bit of
Couple
body shaming
pages.
from Tim there. From the joke, sorry. He's really going for this, listener.
There we go.
It's like watching a feat of strength. That book is a lot thinner than when it started.
Look at all those gaps.
A man walks into a pet store and asks for a dozen bees. The clerk carefully counts 13 bees on the counter. "That's one too many," says the customer. The clerk replies, "Don't worry, it's a freebie."
Freebie.
Yeah, that's good.
Problem is, I'm looking for jokes now, and half my pages are ripped. Do you know why turtle wax is really expensive?
Why?
Got tiny ears.
Bad. By book. When is an elf not an elf?
When?
When he's sucking your cock, then he's goblin.
Okay. We're back to Newport.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one of those special filter programs on my internet access. It's really handy. It blocks out everything except porn.
Oh, that would be
More of a brag more than anything.
more of a bad brag, yeah.
Oh, the spine's starting to come away. Look at the size of that gap.
Wow. Tim's really showing a feat of strength here.
Oh.
I asked my wife why she married me. She said, "Because you're funny." I said, I thought it was because I was good in bed, and she said, "See, fucking hilarious."
That's good. Good.
Mm.
What do you call a female magician?
A magician.
Trixie.
Tim, I had a Russian Uber driver the other day.
Oh yeah,
His name was Pick Up and Drop Off.
pretty good.
Mhm.
Pretty good. I rang up my local builder and said I want to skip outside my house, and he said, "I'm not stopping you."
This section's going to go on forever.
Well, if you get joke of the week, I'm just going to rip the book in half by the spine.
Do it. I had a girlfriend in uni who was obsessed with counting numbers. I wonder what she's up to now.
That's good. That's good. Let me have a look. These are all just crap quotes now. These are all just terrible quotes from not great stand-up comics. Middle age is when your age starts to show around your middle. That's one of them. That's going to be my next joke.
Christ.
Yep, getting rid of it. Ripping out this whole section.
I used to be addicted to deli meat, but then I decided to quit cold turkey.
Very good. Look what's happened to this page.
This poor book.
I've got absolutely zero faith in my doctor. All his patients are ill. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
The last thing my grandfather ever said to me
God.
was...
Sorry, the front of the book's falling out.
The last thing my grandfather ever said to me was, "It's worth spending money on good speakers." That was some sound advice.
That is good. Why do so many Polish names end in ski?
I don't know.
Because they can't spell toboggan. Rip that one out now.
I beat my girlfriend at oral. I bet my girlfriend. Oh my god! I need to cut that. I bet my wife. Oh my god! I bet my wife oral sex that she couldn't beat me at arm wrestling. She won, and now she keeps rubbing my nose in it.
That's good. That's good. Did you hear about the farmer who won an award?
Go on.
He was outstanding in his field.
I got a vasectomy, so I wouldn't have any kids. But I got home, and it turns out they were still there.
Bob Mortimer joke.
Go on.
I think it is. I was hit by a car once, and it took 3 surgeons to remove it.
Tim.
Hello.
Do you want to know the last thing my dad said before he kicked the bucket? Hey, son, watch how far I can kick this bucket.
Here's the spine. There it goes.
The book is dead. Tim, can you take a photo of the book in pieces and post it to the Discord?
Yeah, I can. Hang on. Should I post it now, like pre-episode, or?
Yeah, do it. Just put teaser for episode 10 of season 10.
Where's my phone? It's in my pocket. Hang on.
Right, Tim, I'm going to do a quick I love this game while you do that, and then let's do a quiz and get out of here, okay?
All right.
Renner up from the back. El Mahani right foot. Whips it. Oh, jeez, beeps, man.
Outside Maxima might have a chance to run and does. Can he play a colleague through? It's Jacob Murphy. Released. Murphy 1-on-1. Jacob Murphy to win it. Oh, just put it in the net. Oh, O'Connell's
Tim, I've got a story for you about a footballer.
Okay.
His name is Quincy Promes. He is a Dutch footballer who, at the start of his career, was full of promise. People thought Quincy Promes, full of promise, would be one of the next stars of Dutch football.
Sure.
It didn't turn out that way. He was quite good for a while, and then he got convicted of cocaine smuggling. Over 1.3 tons of cocaine trafficked over via Antwerp in 2020.
Did he operate out of Newport by chance?
I wouldn't like to say. In a separate conviction, just a few months later, he received 18 months for stabbing his cousin in the leg at a family event. Instead of serving this time, Tim, Quincy Promes thought, I'm going to go and hide in Dubai for a while. So he moved to Dubai in 2020 and has been there since. His club that he was with, Spartak Moscow, at the time, let him go from his contract, saying that they couldn't play him with the ongoing legal issues.
Okay.
What does a footballer do in Dubai, Tim?
What's he do?
He now plays for Dubai FC. In the last 5 years, the Dutch government have been trying to extradite Quincy Promes so he can serve this 7.5 years behind bars, and the Dubai government have said no.
Nah.
Last week, Quincy Promes went onto Dutch TV and tried to make a plea with the Dutch government. He said, I will come home. I will face my trial on one condition. I do not go to prison.
Well, then you're not facing your trial.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
That's really dumb. Like, I'll come home, but I don't want you to punish me for it.
Yeah, but it's recently been said that the UAE's court is deciding now whether his extradition will be approved or not, and if he is, he'll be sent back to the Netherlands, or he can to face his charges, or he can go to court.
He'll probably take his chance in court, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. That really was a quick I love this game, but
Was
Quincy
a very
Promes
quick I
was a
love
bit
this
of a
game.
silly boy. So there you go.
Good.
Right, Tim, pub quiz question, and then let's go and jump in a bath of ice water.
Oh, absolutely. Pub quiz question of the week. What is the largest species of sea turtle known for its distinctive ridged shell?
Go on.
It is the leatherback turtle.
Nice.
Yep. End of the season. Taking a break next week, right?
We are. There will be no two blokes next week, but we will be back in a couple of weeks' time for season 11.
No double dosage, no double
double
whammies.
doses,
You'd be lucky
no.
to get half, to be honest.
Well, if it's still as hot as this, we might be dead.
We might
So
be. Might have melted.
Two dead blokes from Blighty. If one of us dies in that time, Tim, it's going to be really ominous.
It is. That's very scary, actually.
Yeah, so we'll be back for season 11. No more joke book. That's dead. We will try our best to fix all of our issues with the sound that we had in episode 9. Hopefully they don't come out for episode 10. We will fix the sound bar. 10 seasons, we're still coming up with amateur mistakes. Would you have it any other way, Tim?
No, as long as the microphones don't end up backwards again, I think we're probably fine.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, for the last time in season 10, take that, you bastard.
Take that, you bastards.
I'll
See you in
a
2
couple of
weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God.
It's so grimy. Oh god, it's like listening through sand.
It's like dragging the song through dirt track.
It's like someone's manually spinning a vinyl of it.
Ugh.
But I've also got the jitters from being spooked.